Okay, so I think the first and foremost element is a sense of urgency. I always say this: when the industrial revolution happened, the number of years that it took for majority of the workforce to move from the farm to the factory was about 90 years in the US. Now, from the factory to a service-led economy, where you and I are in the services-led economy, that took about 45 years. But now, in the fourth industrial revolution, led by digital, it's not going to give us 100 years. It's not going to give us 45 years. And we, in fact, know in the last 20 years, almost 52% of companies on the Fortune 500 list have disappeared from that list in the last 20 years. So we don't have the luxury of time. The foremost thing that leaders can do today is to establish a sense of urgency that it is now or never. We are talking about companies like Nokia, BlackBerry, we're talking about Blockbuster, companies that were on the Fortune 500 list that don't are not relevant anymore. So if we don't establish the sense of urgency, I think it's a sign of danger. I think that's probably the first thing that leaders have to do. Then, of course, once you mobilize people, make them see the sense of urgency, how do we execute this at a rapid pace? Upskilling and reskilling that you spoke about has to be accelerated. That's the other keyword, acceleration. How do we do this at scale? Because we cannot do this in tens and twenties and hundreds. It has to happen in thousands and thousands of employees, making them future ready, right? So sense of urgency, acceleration. Sure. So if, let's say, in the industrial age, knowing the alphabet, knowing numbers, doing numerical skills, those were the key skills in the industrial age. Today, data is at the core of digital. You take away data from the digital story, there is no digital story. So in fact, I think going forward, data literacy will become as important as knowing the alphabet or knowing numbers, right? And doing addition, subtraction, whatever. Dealing with data will become foundational. So I think at this point in time, as we are ramping up the digital story, and it's just accelerating post the pandemic, the one thing that managers, leaders, individuals across the board have to get savvy at is data. It's been a great experience. I think many of us are attending a physical event after a pretty long time. It has its own excitement, right? So you're meeting with your own team after a long time. You're meeting with your, clients, your partners. It has its own value to be able to just shake hands, be in the room together. And of course, the other one is the conversations that are happening, very enriching, because last 2 years we've all learned something new, right? And so, but we've all gone down different paths just to learn from other people's experience, what worked, what didn't work. That's been an interesting one. And of course, some of the panel discussions were great as well. Nicely curated set of themes and great speakers as well. So those, I think, are the three things that I enjoyed.